Yo, what is going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we had a brand new video. This time, talking about the way that you should be saving your money. I think everyone needs to be this way and needs to at least consider doing something like this. I'm going to talk about one option that I use and that I think is the easiest one to use, but there are many options out there that you can go ahead and give a shot and maybe get a little bit better of a rate on them. But these are high yield savings accounts. I think everybody needs to have one and use it as savings instead of your bank account that you have right now at like a normal bank. Uh, Normal banks, the average for the interest rate on banks are around 0.09% on a savings account, and that includes all of these high yield accounts that bring that average up. A lot of banks only offer 0.01% to maybe 0.05% if you hold a ton of money in those accounts. And this account is going to give you 1.5% interest on any money. You know, there's no fees, no anything considered with it. There's just the money that you put in there will earn 1.5%, no minimum amount that you need in there or anything crazy like that. So there are different accounts that might get you like 1.6%, and I've seen, I think as high as 1.7 is the highest, but those include a little bit more of jumping through hoops or owning a card through them already, like Amex has one, and then you need to somehow do that. But I didn't look into that because of all the smaller hoops you have to jump through. But this is simple. You just go open an account, put your money in there, and you're done, and you're earning that 1.5%. Now, with this, obviously there is no risk at all in doing this with your money. It is strictly just savings. It's still FDIC insured up to that $250,000. It's still going to be no risk, meaning it's not going to go down in value because it's not an investment. It's just simply saving your money and or making that money at least work for you more than what it's doing in a normal bank account, making you pennies, if that. So the account I'm going to talk about is with Ally Bank, and they are right now offering an online savings account of 1.5%, and they're going to obviously continue doing that, but the rate is a variable rate, meaning if interest rates get pushed down, if they go negative, right now they're at 0, so Ally should be pretty safe at this rate right now, but it can change at any time for any reason. But it's still, even if it continues to come down, it's still higher than even the average, including these accounts of 0.09%. So there's no reason. It's so much more money. Even if you don't have a lot of money, it's still going to make you so much more a month rather than making, 10 cents a month if you're lucky with that. So with Ally, it is a simple little online thing. You go on their website, you can go sign up for the account. You have to get approved, they say, but it's really not a big approval. It's literally within a minute or two they'll approve it, and then you can fund your account, set up the transactions or the transfers from which accounts and stuff you're going to be doing on the website, and then you can get the app and just do it all through your phone when you have the app. And it's super simple, super safe, and an easy way to have your money grow with no risk of losing it because it is just a savings account. And the reason I think everyone should have this instead of a normal savings account is just like it's the same like regulation type things. You have the same transaction limit as a normal savings account. It's 6 transactions a month or a period, which is a month. And that means you can take money out 6 times, and if you take it out a 7th time, that's when you get a fee with that. But it's the same thing as a normal bank account. It's the same way those operate, and you might as well have your money growing at a better rate than at your money literally sitting there doing nothing. And if you just look at inflation numbers, usually the average inflation is about 2% a year. So if you just have savings sitting earning 1.5%, obviously then you lose 0.5% worth of purchasing power a year. But in a normal bank account, we'll even take the average of 0.09%, you'll be losing almost that full 2% of purchasing power, which is just not something you want to do. Obviously, if you have investments and things, then those investments, the amount you've gained on those could probably counteract your 0.5% loss on your bank account, Ally Bank, which would just mean that you have more purchasing power, hopefully, if everything went well, than when you started, which is what everybody wants. So with Ally, at least we can break down their like fees and stuff that they have, which are none unless you go over like transaction limits or things like those. But you can see no monthly maintenance fees, which a lot of places hide those fees and charge you for leaving your money in there. But they don't. No minimum balance, which means you can put any money in there and take all the money out whenever you want if you need to, or if you're moving it. There's no balance, no minimum balance to required to keep it open. So you have that simple, and then you earn money with interest, compounded daily, pretty typical stuff, and then you'll get paid usually on the first of the month or the first like Monday or Tuesday of the month or something, where you get your interest payments for your stuff. Now if it's 1.5%, and you can see right now, I'll pull it on the screen, but these are the rates that I'm talking about. Like, you can see the American Express is 1.5, Capital One is 1.5, and then after that you're getting into more normal bank accounts where you get 0.06 for Citibank, 0.01% for Bank of America, 0.01% for Chase, for PNC Bank, and for Wells Fargo. All these big name banks don't pay you anything in interest, and the reason a lot of the time that like Ally can pay you more in interest is because they're an online bank. They don't have the overhead of like a brick and mortar bank, ones with physical locations, so they can afford to pay you higher interest because they don't have those costs associated with like brick and mortar physical places. So, and then here you can see the fees that they have. Obviously right here is they don't have any like of those fees that are kind of hidden like other ones, like monthly maintenance fees, in statements, copies, all these different types of things. But the ones they do have are pretty typical and pretty much avoidable if you just use the account how it's supposed to be used. I mean, a return deposit item, so if you deposit money there, but you don't have that money, that's going to cost you. Overdraft item paid or overdraft item returned, maximum 1 fee per day. So you get that 1 fee per day, but if you have an overdraft item that is paid or returned, you're going to get a fee for that. Excessive transfer fee, $10 per transaction. This one is pretty important because you could go over without even realizing it, but it's a savings account, so you only get 6 transactions a month. You can only take money out 6 times a month, so don't go over 6. Try and keep track of it. It does tell you on the app and on your account how many transactions you have left per period, per month, and as long as you're paying attention to that, you should be fine with that. Expedited delivery, so if you want your transfers to go faster, you got to pay a fee. Not a big deal. You'll know whether or not you're doing that. Outgoing domestic wires is $20 fee, and the account research fee is $25 per hour. Not sure about account research. Sounds like an investment type thing. They do have their investment platform as well, which is a good thing that I think is another big like feature with Ally. Is if you decide to save with them, you can also decide to open up a brokerage account with them and invest through there, and then you'll have instant access to your money right there on the app and on the site to basically buy stocks whenever you want. Say if you wanted to buy some Apple stock and you didn't have money in a brokerage account, you could just go on Ally, buy the stock, they'll take the money from your savings, and then you just have the Apple stock in your investment portfolio now. So I think that's a big thing and a big neat thing to have with a high yield savings account that a lot of other places don't really offer. So that's just one place, and I think the easiest place. I think everyone should have a high yield account and should be in this space in some way. I think it's super important to grow your money, especially risk-free with these type of high yield accounts. And take advantage of the rates while they are good, because they can change and go down. But right now we got 1.5%, and they could change and go up if things start to get better and the Fed raises rates. They could go up. We could see over the 2% mark again. Maybe one day we will get back to there, but that looks like it might be far in the future. But 1.5 is good for now. Risk-free. Get your money. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. We are on the path to 1K subs, and I'll see you guys in my next video.